Hey guys, what's up? It's your boy, one and only AR Legends. And yeah guys, today I am back with the next part of what if Naruto was the reincarnation of Sukuna and was evil incarnate. So yeah guys, hopefully you guys enjoyed the previous part of this series. And if you guys have not seen it, please guys check it out. You guys will definitely like it. And yeah guys, before starting this video, I would like to tell you guys about my other Naruto channel in which I upload videos daily. The link of the channel is in the description below. As you can see, I upload videos here, and recently I have decided to try a new style like animation type videos. And I have tried one video here, and I also want to try it in my this channel Air Legend here as well, from scene to scene like animation style. So you guys check it out and tell me if it is feasible. So yeah guys, without wasting any more of your time. But before that, I would like to make a last request to all of you guys for watching this video. If you guys are new to the channel or if you guys have not subscribed yet, please guys do so. It would be very helpful to me. And yeah guys, the link of my Instagram as well as the link of my other Naruto channel is also in the description below. So please follow me on Instagram and subscribe to my other channel. So yeah guys, without wasting any more of your time, let us start the video. Last time we left off as we saw that the fight between Hashirama, Madara and Tobirama against Naruto Uzumaki, the so-called most evil incarnate in the Elemental Nation, as Naruto's power was a lot different than chakra, as Madara tried his best as well as Hashirama, even using the power of all the 9 bijus. But Naruto wanted to make contract with all the 9 bijus, trying to enslave all of them, as Hashirama used his 1000 hand Buddha technique as well as Madara using the Susanoo covered on the body of the 9 tails, trying to end Naruto. But in the end of the day, Naruto's evil power was too much for Madara and Hashirama to take on. In the end, the Uzumaki clan finally stepped in, using the lives of 300 Uzumakis as well as the life of Ashina Uzumaki, the father of Mito Uzumaki and Naruto Uzumaki, to seal off Naruto in a cube forever to be sealed away. But it requires chakra and life force of the Uzumaki clan, so it was handed over to the Uzumaki clan to take care of. Afterward, timescape as the second great ninja war happened, as Hiruzen Saitobi, who has already ended the Senju clan threat and had already taken care of the Uchiha clan as well, wanted to get rid of the Uzumakis because they were the only people who could become the Jinchurikis, and that would threaten his rule over the next Jinchuriki. But Mito Uzumaki stopped him, telling him that if he does not have the Uzumaki clan, then he doesn't need to be the Hokage at all. Shocking Hiruzen Saitobi. After all, when he was getting rid of Senju clan, Mito did not say anything. Now she was helping the Uzumaki clan, so he was a bit confused. But Uzumaki clan survived, but the other nations were not exactly happy about it. Danzo also wanted to get in. So after some time, after 7 years, Danzo started to spread rumors about that the Uzumaki clan soon enough will become the 6th great ninja village, as all the villages decided to attack the Uzumaki clan. Mito was already on her deathbed, so she did not knew anything about it, and Hiruzen Saitobi did not want to get involved in this matter, thinking that the Uzumaki clan will die, Kushina will become the next Jinchuriki, so therefore they would already have the Jinchuriki, no need for the Uzumakis to exist. After all, Mito had already handed over all the sealing techniques of the Uzumakis to the Hokage, so they did not have much use for Konoha. While on the other hand, the leader of the Uzumaki clan, Kin Uzumaki, wanted to fight using half of the Uzumaki clan members to seal away Naruto, while on the other hand, the other half will fight against the 4 nations. But it was just a dream. The other 4 nation army simply ended the Uzumakis, while on the other hand, all those people who were trying to seal off Naruto's seal did not have enough chakra and life force, and they died using the technique. And Naruto was finally released. So yeah guys, that was the last part of the series. If you guys have not seen it, check it out. So let us start the story from here. As a darkness spread across the Elemental Nation, sky darkened as if it was the night time, even though it was at the mid of day, shocking all the armies of the Elemental Nation. They were surprised, wondering what was going on here. The third Raikage was a bit angry, glaring towards Kin Uzumaki. What are you trying to do, Uzumaki clan? As Kin Uzumaki laughed bitterly. After all, he was the clan leader in this time. He never thought that he would be the leader under whose rule his clan would fall, and the duty of the Uzumaki clan to seal off that person for eternity would be cut off. As he simply shook his head, he was already injured beyond belief and he did not have any chance to survive whatsoever. As he looked towards the Raikage as well as Tsuchikage, who was floating in the mid-air wondering, while on the other hand Onoki had a look of horror on his face. After all, the secrets of those years and the Uzumaki clan were sealed off, so other nations did not knew Onoki was still alive at the era. He still remembered when he first met that person. He thought that Madara was scary, but that guy, he was the true devil itself. As Onoki simply shook his head, no, it is not possible. That was the same generation and as Madara and Hashirama, though a bit younger, but not much, so he should be dead. Yeah, he still remembered that Hashirama Madara killed that guy. It is not possible. As he looked towards King Uzumaki, who simply laughed bitterly, blood was leaking from his mouth. While on the other hand, in Konoha's side, third Hokage looked towards the lifeless body of Mito Uzumaki. A horrible feeling arrived to his heart, not because of sadness, as if it was a premonition that he had done something which he should not have done. As he simply shook his head, as he looked towards, you can say, the other elders who had emotionless faces looking towards each other, wondering if they were wrong about it, as they could feel this power, this evil chakra. It is how it is even possible. They do not know, but it was truly evil. While on the other hand, third Hokage gulped a little, gave a signal as a Ambu landed beside him. It was none other than Sakumo Hatake, who was still alive, but for not for long, of course. As third Hokage looked towards Sakumo, take your team and rush toward the Uzumaki country. If there are any survivors, bring them back to Konoha and get the information. Your top priority is to get the information, what is going on there. As Sakumo Hatake was silent for a minute but nodded nonetheless and went off with his team to find the information. After all, this was a generation who knew some secrets, while on the other hand, in the Uzumaki country, suddenly the whole place started to shake violently as a huge explosion took place, destroying a large portion of the area where the ceiling array was present. And finally, a voice was spoken of. Finally, I am free. As a maniac laughter was heard across the whole country, while on the other hand, Onoki gulped a little, looking towards that person who was now floating in the mid-air, laughing, while on the other hand, all the shinobis, there was the army of over 20,000 shinobis present here, and they were looking towards each other. All of them had fear in their eyes, and they were wondering what kind of demon it was. They first thought that it was some kind of biju, but now they realized that it was not. It was a person, and they were thinking who he was, but they were all smart people, especially the Jonins, and they were now looking towards each other, wondering if they have released some kind of demon across the elemental nation. While on the other hand, the third Mizukage spoke up. I do not know about you people, but we have to stop that guy. Whoever he is some kind of evil spirit. I knew that the Uzumaki clan was up to no good, so this is the secret weapon of the Uzumakis. It is a bit too late to use it after all. They are already dead. After that, he started to laugh, but to his surprise, the other cages did not laugh at it, especially Onoki, who was now a lot scared. While on the other hand, third Raikage knew about some information, but not much, but he was confident on his strength as he scoffed at that. Finally, Naruto looked towards the armies of the elemental nations as an evil smirk finally came to his face. So, the celebration is already here for my arrival. What a good party. After saying that, he finally vanishes from the place and landed in front of the whole army and the 4 cages of the elemental nation, as Naruto simply laughed, looking towards his, you can say, clan member, Kin Uzumaki, who still have some breaths left, as Naruto scoffed. So the Uzumakis are finally dead, too bad. I wanted to kill them myself, but oh well. As he looked in the direction, as he could feel the remnant chakra of his dear sister, as he frowned at that. Damn it, I wanted to kill these people myself, but why are they dead already? as he sighed inwardly. Oh, too bad. As he simply looked towards these people, the four cages, his eyes finally landed on Onoki. Huh? Isn't that the brat, Onoki? Huh? So you have become the cage. As Onoki gulped a little. How? How is this even possible? How are you alive? And why do you look so young? As Naruto simply smirked at that. Huh? You want to know why I am so young? But of course, because I am an immortal. As after saying that, he started to laugh as finally third Mizukage could not take it anymore. He was a young man, the strongest of his generation. He doesn't care who this guy was and why. That coward Onoki was scared. He wanted to prove the strength of his village as he said enough of it. As he finally made hand signs as a huge water dragon rushed towards Naruto. As Naruto simply laughed at that as he vanishes from the players. As Mizukage was about to say something, where did he go? As he was about to say something, but suddenly he felt it at the mid of his body. He felt pain as he tried to, you can say, put his hand where the pain was coming from, and there was only blood. His eyes widened. He was falling on the ground, and he did not know why. As everyone eyes widened, they did not even see anything. And just like that, the lower half of the body of the third Mizukage was already separated from his upper half as Mizukage. That was the last thought of his mind, what was going on here, and he was already dead as Naruto simply vanishes and appeared once again in the place where he was. Too bad. A prey should have the consciousness of a prey. As he looked towards Anoki, as the evil glint finally came to his face as Anoki gritted his teeth. No, it was not time for him to be scared. He was the Tsuchikage. He has to protect his people. He quickly gave a signal to his second in command, his son, as his son was a bit confused but nodded. Nonetheless, the sky was still darkened and the lightning was now dancing on the sky as Naruto simply opened his hand and started to laugh. Well, I suppose it is time to start the party, shall we? As he looked toward the third Raikage, that was a signal for the third Raikage as third Raikage finally powered up his lightning armor and rushed towards Naruto. Enough of this, you die now, monster. As after saying that, he rushed towards Naruto, while on the other hand, the 8-tailed Jinchuriki was finally released, as well as the 2-tailed Jinchuriki, as the third Raikage has already given the signals as both of them transformed into their respective tail beast and started to power up their tail beast bomb and release it towards Naruto as third Raikage appeared behind Naruto and kicked Naruto in the direction of the two tail beasts, and just like that Naruto was thrown into the two tail beast bombs, and just like that a huge explosion took place, taking many of the shinobis of Kiri and some of the rock shinobis as well. Onoki was angry but know that this was not the time. After all, the Bijus are released. He gave a signal and the 4-tailed Jinchuriki and the 5-tailed Jinchuriki also transformed, and while on the other hand the 3rd-tailed Jinchuriki as well as the 6-tailed Jinchuriki had already transformed after the death of their respective cages while inside the sea. 8-tailed Jinchuriki spoke up. B, we have to run, no matter what. We cannot fight that guy. As B was a bit confused, he was still younger and had just made a friendship with the 8-tails, and he was confused why they have to run. As he looked towards his partner, what are you talking about? We just hit him with the tail beast bomb. He's already dead. As the 8-tail shook his head, you do not understand, B. That guy, he's a monster. We cannot fight him. No matter what, even that Hashirama and Madara were no match for him. He alone caught all of us. Even the 9-tails would be scared in front of him. As B was taken aback. While on the other hand, the same conversation was going on in the 2-tails and the 4 and 5-tails. While on the other hand, the 3 and 6-tailed Jinchurikis has already ran off after their Bijus has gone berserk. Finally, the light died down as Naruto was still floating in the mid-air. His body was steaming a little, but there was not even a scratch on his body as a evil glint finally came in the eyes of Naruto as Naruto looked toward the third Raikage. You know, this tail beast are truly the pets I wanted. Too bad that Hashirama and Madara stopped me all those years ago to get these pets. But Before I was sealed off, I did something with these bijous. So now then, as Naruto snapped his finger, and just like that, chains erupted from the ground, grabbing the necks of all the bijous, the 8 tails, the all of the bijous that were present here, only the 1 tails and the 9 tails were not present, even the 7 tails was not present here, but those who were present, their eyes changed and they eyes turned pure black as Naruto smirked at that while inside of the seal. Killer Bee let out a roar of pain. His eyes turned pure black as well as 8 tails as all of the bijous stopped running away and walking away, and finally they looked towards the army of the shinobis with evil intention in their eyes as Naruto laughed at that. Finally, my pets, show me what you got. After saying that, the bijous let out roars and rushed towards the army of the shinobis that were present there. All of them were shocked. They did not have time to react, and the bijous has already attacked them. While on the other hand, third Raikage screamed, "What did you do to them?" But before he could say anything, he felt pain on his arm. His arm was cut off, and many more scratches started to appear all over his body. He was confused. What was going on here? He was one of the fastest people in the Elemental Nation. His body was as strong as a steel, but unknown to him, Naruto was someone who has cut off even the Susanoo. So his body was nothing. As Naruto said, cut. After saying that, as Naruto said, slash. After saying that, several slashes appear on the body. After Raikage, he screamed in pain. He wanted to use his ultimate move, but to his utter shock, both of his arms were already cut off. As Naruto grabbed the third Raikage by his hair and threw him into the sky. Fire arrow as a black flame of arrow appeared in Naruto's hand, rushing toward the third Raikage. As third Raikage tried to scream, but it was a bit too late for that. As third Raikage was completely engulfed in black flames, within seconds he was no more. While on the other hand, the armies of the Elemental Nations were truly in despair. Two of the Kages has died before knowing how they died, while on the other hand, the third Kazekage as well as some of his elites were escaping as fast as they could. They have some scrolls, and the third Kazekage was specifically the one who was taught by Chio, and she has seen that person even though she was just a kid, but the horror of that person was still there. And there are, you can say, horror stories about that guy. The moment he saw that person, he wanted to escape. From the very young age, he was told the horror stories of this guy, so he did not have the courage to fight, and he was right about it. Two of the cages were already dead. It was a good thing that they did not brought their Jinchuriki here, because he was a user of sand and they was all over water here, and they were already too weak, so they were scared that the Uzumakis will capture weakest of the bijus here, so they did not brought their biju. So that was a good thing. All of the bijus are already captured. He has already given up many of the shinobis which he had brought here. Only 1,500 shinobis from the sand village was here because they were already too weak. So they did not brought many shinobi, and now he was truly grateful for it. While on the other hand, Inoki realizing that he had to do something, especially the bijus who have already gone berserk and they are killing off shinobis left and right. While on the other hand, a voice was spoken out. Father! It was none other than the so-called fourth Raikage, the son of the third Raikage. He could not believe his eyes. His father was one of the strongest shinobi in the Elemental Nation and also known as the strongest Raikage. The person who can take on many, even 1,000 shinobi on his own, was killed off in 2 attacks, and he did not even see how he had died, as he could not believe his eyes. While on the other hand, his brother has already gone berserk. He could not understand it, why this was going on. As he gritted his teeth, his eyes finally landed on Naruto. This was the guy. This was the person responsible for it all. If he was not here, then they would have already destroyed the Uzumakis. They had won this war. So why? He thought in his mind as he let out a roar and rushed towards Naruto. While on the other hand, Naruto looked towards the people who were being slaughtered by the hands of these bijus. As he was laughing, he could feel it. His power was growing and growing. He had already had a lot of power from the very childhood, but he saw the environment of this planet was truly suitable for him. The despair. That was the things that powered him up. That was the reason he was healed up, but his power grew and grew, and he gained many more abilities than he remembered previously. Now that his chakra has truly converted into pure evil and cursed energy, and he has gained many and many more abilities than before as he looked towards the shinobi army and finally landed on the ground, and just like that all the bijus stopped what they were doing as Naruto simply cracked his knuckles. Now then it is time for him to use his favorite moves, slash and dismantle, and just like that Naruto rushed in the center of the army and the slashing and dismantle began. It was truly a gruesome sight as these were the elites of the four great nations and they were being killed off so easily. It was truly, you can say, heartbreaking for the cages. While on the other hand, Onoki has already powered up his full power technique, the dust release, as he aimed it towards Naruto and finally released it. He knew that many of his own people were still in the range, but he did not have time. He had to end this person no matter what. He was the greatest evil in the elemental nation, cannot be released no matter what. He was truly regretting it now. If he knew that the Uzumaki clan was sealing this person off, then he would have never touched the Uzumakis, even gone so far to make an alliance, even you can say making an alliance with Konoha if needs be, because this person cannot be released in the elemental nation. He would already had a heart attack if Madara and Hashirama were to be resurrected. Even Tobirama would give him headaches for days. But this person, he was truly regretting it now. If he only could find that person who spread the rumors that the Uzumakis were already strong enough to be the sixth rate ninja village, he would kill that person no matter what. He was truly regretting it now. But it was a bit too late for that. As he released his attack towards Naruto, as Naruto looked towards the beam that was coming towards him, as a smile came to Naruto's face as Naruto simply stepped on the ground, and just like that a dome appeared all around Naruto as third Tsuchikage was a bit confused what was going on here. His attack, which was already could hit Naruto within seconds, has stopped. No, it was slowed down as Naruto laughed. Now then, it is time to test one of the new abilities he has gained, as this was related to time and space condensed. And just like that, many of the people who were far away from Naruto, as if they were very close to him and now they could not move. They were wondering what was going on here. Their bodies, their mind was screaming at their bodies to move, but now they were too close to Naruto, as well as especially that beam of particle style. And third, Tsuchikage had a bad feeling. He was outside of this so-called dome. And just like that, Naruto vanishes and the dome also disappears. As third Tsuchikage's eyes widened, but it was already too late for him to take back his attack. His attack finally hit the ground, and the use of the dust release has already killed off over 5,000 shinobis. As after all, this was his full power attack. He did not have any more chakra left. It was his only shot. As Naruto was laughing as he has already appeared behind the third Tsuchikage, as he placed his arm around the third Tsuchikage. You know, after seeing you, I'm almost remembering the past. The good times. You still remember the warning state era, right? You can kill off so easily and always enjoy it. And now, this order, I do not like it, especially the so-called villages, united. Huh, I never liked it to begin with. So, I suppose I will destroy the order of this world once again to return back to the era of war. How beautiful it would be. Wouldn't you agree, Onoki? As Onoki was truly scared. He had already released all of his chakra. He could barely float in air now, and this person was too close for comfort. He could kill him no matter what. Even if he resisted, it would not be any use. And now, listening to such words, he was truly scared now. The villages, that was the greatest achievement. Even the other cages would admire Hashirama because of his vision and power. If Konoha would not have formed, then the other villages would definitely not have formed no matter what. And The idea of protecting the village was always engraved in all the shinobi, especially the KJ. So, listening to such words, even though he has experienced the warring state era, he could not accept that the world will return back to that chaos, as Naruto simply laughed at it. Now, don't be hypocritical, Onoki. Look around. These people, pointing toward the Uzumaki member, these were killed off by your own hand, not because of my hands. So don't call me monster. After all of us are in for ourselves. As Anoki wanted to say something that he wanted to do it for the village, but Naruto just wanted to do it for the fun. But he could not argue with this guy no matter what. As he looked towards, many of his shinobi has already ran off, and he was truly happy about it, even though he has brought over 7,000 shinobis here, and only 2,000 could run off, but he was still happy. At least these are the foundation. These would be the forces to stop Naruto no matter what. As Naruto looked towards him, I could kill them so easily, and I was the one who let them go. As Unoki's eyes widened, as Naruto simply looked towards him with an amused expression on his face, and tell you what, I will also let you go. After all, I still need fun in this world. Hashirama and Madara are dead, even though they were not exactly a match for me, but they were still powerful enough. So, I will allow you to leave with your dignity, of course. But I suppose you will have to leave one arm here. Before Onoki could say anything, his arm was already cut off. So that's something to give you to remember me by, Onoki. So you can take your leave. And for the bijus, I will reluctantly accept them. As Anoki gritted his teeth, he was truly scared, but he was angry as well. After all, he was a cage for such a long time and had not seen such contempt from his enemy no matter what. He still had his pride even in front of this monster as he gritted his teeth at that, but while, on the other hand, the sand village remains and many of the remains has already left off. As Naruto looked towards the people, the dead bodies, as Naruto simply shook his head. Anoki, taking the opportunity, has already run off, while on the other hand, A was knocked out by one of his seniors and was taken away. After all, this was the future of the Elemental Nation, while on the other hand, at least 10,000 shinobis were able to run off and 10,000 had to remain here. As Naruto looked toward these people, suddenly his eyes turned red with power as he slapped his hand together. Now then, arise! As after saying that, black energy started to release from his body and rush into the bodies of these people. Their body started to heal rapidly. Their eyes widened and the red aura was shining inside of them as all of them stood up. As Naruto looked towards his newly formed army and looked back towards the Uzumaki members who were also arising, as Naruto started to laugh and started to burst into maniac laughter. And while, on the other hand, far away, as two eyes were looking towards all of this and sweating hard, this was the person, none other than a Hyuga member. At the back of him, four other Hyuga members were pumping chakra into him as well as pupil power so that they can see what was going on there. And after that, he gasped and closed his eyes. Blood was already coming from the eyes of this Hyuga member. On the other side of him, Sakumu Hatake looked towards this person with some pity, but there was also fear in his eyes. He could feel the release of chakra, the release of power, especially that evil power that was scaring even him, a cage level shinobi. As the Hyuga member finally took some medicine and finally looked towards Sakumo Hatake with utter fear in his eyes, as Sakumo was also a bit confused, wanting to see what was going on there. As finally the Hyuga gulped and explained everything, the story of that person, how easily he killed off the cage level shinobis like they were nothing in his eyes, even killed off so many people, how easily he did it, even controlling the bijus, especially those ominous chains, and his power, especially those dark flames. As he wanted to say everything, but he was too scared for it. As a shinobi, he could feel that he would never be able to step in the battlefield again, as Sakumo Hatake's eyes were already, you can say, showing some fear. After all, such a monster from the Warring State era was released in the Elemental Nation, and what will happen now? No one knows, especially a person who is said to be even stronger than Hashirama and Madara, and even the second Hokage. As he sighed inwardly, if he knew that this would be this kind of trouble, then he should have pleaded with the help of the other clans to the third Hokage. After all, he was in the Ambu. He knew about the information about the attack on the Uzumaki clan and how the third Hokage has already given up on the Uzumakis. But he was wondering why the third Hokage did so if he knew that killing off the Uzumakis will release this kind of person. As he sighed inwardly but shook his head. We have to go back to Konoha to tell this to Lord Hokage and to the council as well. As he thought in his mind, after all, such a decision cannot be made alone by the Hokage. It seemed that the council has to be re-established and a decision has to be made. After saying that, he rushed off along with his Ambu members. Unknown to him, two eyes were already following him. As Naruto simply laughed, he was still waiting for those people to come back. After all, he still have many plans in the future, especially the fun has to be enjoyed. See you soon, my dear sister. As after saying that, he burst into laughter. While on the other hand, all the other shinobis has finally returned to their respective villages and were simply looking for holes to hide in, as many of the people were looking lifeless. After all, their companions had died. Well, they were shinobis, their companions die every day, especially in wars. And the wars they start by themselves, but they have never seen this kind of thing. After all, even in war, there is a kind of hope for a victory, a chance of victory. But this kind of thing, a kind of monster that cannot be stopped, who can kill you within seconds. When you finally lose hope, that is truly and truly sad for people. They were already looking lifeless, while even their cages were not much better, especially those cages who have died. The third Raikage, their strongest Raikage, had died, while on the other hand, this was the same situation in the office of the Mizukage and the other cages. Well, like the third Kazekage and third Tsuchikage was still alive, even though Onoki has lost an arm. He could still perform his particle style with one hand. After all, he was an old shinobi. His chakra control was something that many people could only dream of. While, on the other hand, in Konoha, third Hokage was looking solemnly in the direction of the Uzumaki country. The sky has cleared up, but there was an ominous feeling in the elemental nation that have never been seen before. And he was having a bad feeling about the whole situation. He has already sent Sakumo Hatake to find the information about the Uzumaki country. He was only hoping that it would not be worse. After all, there are still over 20,000 shinobis in the Uzumaki country. Even if that person is released, then these people should be able to stop him, right? As he thought in his mind, he was already regretting his decision. He should have explained it to Mito Uzumaki and come up with some idea. Even if Uzumaki clan has to be destroyed, that person should have been brought back to Konoha so that they can use the sealing art present here to seal that person away. Even Titan, as he started to regret about it. While, on the other hand, Hatake Tsukumo has finally arrived to Konoha as well as his Ambu member. Many of them were scared, who had seen such a kind of thing so close, so they were truly scared. While on the other hand, Tsukumo was barely holding on. After all, all of them had ran off as soon and as quick as possible so that they can deliver this news to Konoha as soon as possible. After all, an army of 20,000 shinobi was no match for such kind of monster. Half of them were slaughtered while the rest of them flee with their life barely. And all the bijus are already captured by that person and they cannot tolerate such a thing. While on the other hand, far away in a deep cave, two eyes were finally opened and there was truly fear in those eyes. These were the eyes of none other than Madara Uchiha, who was still hiding in the shadows of the elemental nation. Sweat was coming from his forehead as he gripped the cane as tight as possible as he said so. he is finally released in the shinobi world once again, as a white Zetsu appear from the ground, looking a lot scared, as he said, Lord Madara, that person, you're right, he's released. As Madara simply shook his head as he gritted his teeth at that kind of person. He wanted to take that sealing cube away, but he knew that only the Uzumakis can keep that person sealed away, and these foolish people and their foolish war has released him. He was truly scared now. After all, he has given half of his life for his future plans. He did not care about his life, not care about any other thing. He only cared about his plans. And now that person is free, he will definitely be able to sense him. And when that happened, as he gritted his teeth at that, as he looked towards the Black Zetsu, go and bring me my eyes back. As Black Zetsu was confused but nodded nonetheless. After all, he thought that with the help of the Rinnegan, he should be able to keep that person. He still remembered that guy, even though he was very powerful, but he did not observe him too much. After all, he was always close to Madara and merge with his body to protect Madara to the day he could awaken his Rinnegan. He had some information, especially the beating which Madara and Hashirama got in it. He was also a bit scared, but he was still confident that Madara, with the help of Rinnegan, should be able to get rid of this guy. After all, he must be weakened with the help of this seal, just like his mother would be weakened if she's released. So they have to just get rid of him as soon as possible. While on the other hand, Madara, who was the one who had fought that guy, knew that things are not gonna be calm in the Elemental Nation soon enough. While on the other hand, Sakumo Hatake has finally arrived in the office of the Hokage, as well as the Ambu, as third Hokage, as well as the elders like Danzo, Koharu, and other elders were present there. Third Hokage looked towards Sakumo. Sakumo, so you're finally back. Tell me about the information of the Uzumaki country. Did you find any survivors? As he wanted to start from something light. As Sakumo simply shook his head, Lord Hokage, I was unable to get close to the Uzumaki country, but I had observed far away from a small island away. As Danzo quickly spoke up, what do you mean that you were unable to get in the Uzumaki country? That was your mission, Hiruzen. This person is truly useless, as Danzo truly hated Sakumo because he had too much prestige and wanted to get rid of Sakumo as soon as possible. He did not believe in the old horror stories of this Naruto Uzumaki, and he did not care about it. He was already feeling pretty smug that the Uzumaki country was dead, and they had the complete control over the bijus, so he did not care much about this whole thing. At best, he must be some old spirit, and there are already 20,000 shinobis in the island. Even if this person is as strong as said to be, can he handle 20,000 shinobi? He doesn't believe it. While on the other hand, Sakumo Hatake simply shook his head. He did not want to engage with Danzo before the third Hokage could say anything. Sakumo, speak up. This is not the time for it. As even Danzo was surprised Sakumo has said something like this. Even Tadokage was taken aback as Sakumo shot a glare towards Danzo. His nerves were already tight and Danzo was pushing it now. Even though he is a Ambu commander, he was still the head of the Hatake family and he did not care about Danzo, as Danzo wanted to say something, but Sakumo simply looked toward Lord Hokage. You're right, that person is finally free, and I have seen the battle thanks to the help of the Byakugan of the Hyuga clan members from far away. We have seen everything. 20,000 shinobis were there, but none of them were able to stop that person. Even the strongest Raikage, the third Raikage, was killed off within seconds. Same is the case with the third Mizukage. Only one attack was enough to kill the third Mizukage. Even the Tsuchikage has lost an arm and he was barely able to leave from there. Half of the shinobi army was destroyed and half of them ran away. Even all the other bijus are captured by that person. Naruto Uzumaki is finally free and roam this world once again. As There was dead silence in the whole room. Even you can say the cane Danzo was holding was now has dropped to the ground. Even Danzo was wondering if he has done something wrong. Or if he has heard something wrong, as Tadukage gulped a little. Are you sure about it, Sakumo? As Sakumo simply nodded at that, even though I was not the one who has seen it. But I'm a sensory ninja and I have felt it, Lord Hokage. That person is free and is said to be even stronger than the legends itself. There was dead silence in the whole room as Sakumo sighed, Lord Hokage. To be frank, that was a bad decision on our part. We should not have left the Uzumaki country to the other four nations. We should have stepped forward. If we had done it, then this kind of person would not have been released. And we have to take care of it as soon as possible. Other villages are not strong enough. We have to make a 5 cage summit as soon as possible and get rid of this person, this Naruto Uzumaki, as soon as possible. As third Hokage started to think about it, he did not care that Sakumo was this talkative. After all, Sakumo is from Ambu and he did not like to say much, always listening to orders and completing them, even though Danzo was not exactly happy that Tsukumo was telling them what to do. But this was not the time for it. He has also heard many stories and to listen to such a thing, even though he wanted to question Tsukumo, even going so far to ask for an interrogation, thinking if Tsukumo was lying to them. But he quickly shook his head. After all, Tsukumo was loyal. He knew that as much. So, he did not say anything at this point, looking towards his old friend as Hiruzen was sweating now. After all, if Madara Uchiha were to come back, then that would be enough to give Hiruzen a heart attack. But this person, Naruto Uzumaki, the legend, especially the second Hokage, has told his students the story itself, how this Naruto Uzumaki was strong enough to defeat Madara, Hashirama, the second Hokage, all of them together, and he was not even exhausted. He did not even use his full power. Even all the 9 bijus were on their knees in front of him. So if this kind of person roamed the world once again because of him, then he would truly be the sinner of the elemental nation. He quickly shook his head and determination came to his eyes. This is not the time for it. We have to gather our forces and get ready for us to kill this person once again. While on the other hand, he gave a signal, go and bring me all the scrolls of the Uzumaki clan placed in the Senju household, as well as the old scroll of sealing. I do not believe that the second Hokage did not thought of it and came up with some ideas. There are many sealing array there, so they have to come up with something. As the third Hokage thought in his mind, I have to learn the technique as soon as possible. I believe that that is the only technique that can stop him now. Thinking of Reaper, that seal, as wondering if he should use this technique himself. And before he thought of anything, his eyes landed on Sakumo and an idea came to his mind. No matter how powerful anyone is, even the 9 tails would have to give up in front of that seal. So maybe he should teach this Reaper that seal to Sakumo. This was his perfect idea. Sakumo was loyal and he would definitely help them to protect Konoha. All for Konoha, he thought in his mind. And finally, a small smile came to his face. But hey guys, I'm gonna end this part here, so hopefully you guys enjoyed it. And yeah guys, the link of my other Naruto channel is in the description below, so please subscribe to that channel and it would be a lot helpful to me. So yeah guys, see you soon. Peace. And yeah guys, the link of my Instagram is also in the description below, so please follow me on Instagram as well. And yeah guys, see you soon.